لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. أما بعد، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Welcome to Arabic lesson 7. Today we will be looking at the Arabic question words. Before I start, I do want to mention we should be quiet in here because there is an exam next door. Next slide, please. So what we will need today, firstly, we will need some lined paper. Secondly, some pens, just for making notes, writing equipment. And there's also a handout, Arabic question words handout I made specifically with the activities and a few tasks and a few explanations. Inshallah, if you get this to hand, it will be useful. And if you're doing it online, you also want a copy of the PowerPoint, which will all be found in the Google Drive if you're part of the Arabic lesson group chat. Next slide. So what we will learn today, firstly we will learn the Arabic question words and what are the uses of them and how to use them in a sentence. So later on we will try to make sentences with them and examples with them. And just understand, why do we need them, what are they, how to use them, like a basic understanding, inshallah ta'ala. Next slide. So here are the Arabic question words. It is also on your handout, printed out. We're going to focus on 9 of the question words today, and we will go through them nicely, inshallah ta'ala. Go to the next slide. There's a task I want everyone to do. So the first task is, using the handout, I have all of the 9 question words written onto it. So I want you to use this as a guide. And just before you learn it, just practice your handwriting with it. Because handwriting, writing, it's useful as well. So, copy out each of them. I made it nicely, the questions for each. Just write it out 3 times, inshallah, for each of the question words. And just practice, writing. And I'll help you out on the board as well if anyone may struggle with that. Let me put the whiteboard on. So everyone has a handout. Inshallah, we have 9. We'll go through this. We're just doing handwriting first for the task 1. So the first one I want everyone to do is hal. We'll learn what everything means later on as the class progresses, as the lesson progresses. But first, all I want everyone to do is just copy this out a few times. Just practice with the handwriting. I'll do it too as well. So first letter, I'll break it down for everyone as well. So hal, it is made out of a ha and a lam. Everyone get that so far? So if you remember in Arabic, letters, their shape changes when we join them together. So in this instance, the ha, it will be like this, and then the lam will join onto it like this. Hal, that's not very good ha, but hal. I'll show it again. So we'll go like a circle like this, and then like that, and the lam like that. Hal. My handwriting isn't the best on the board, but I think it's understandable. Hal. And one more time. That's how we join it up nicely. Should I go around and check if everyone's done it nicely? Yeah. I'll check at the end. Is there the second one? What's the second one on the sheet? Aina. So that's where. We'll look at the meanings later on. Let's put the sheet down there. So the second one is Aina, which means where, and we'll look at the meanings later on. So this word, which is an alif, and a ya, and a noon. Aina. Does anyone want to volunteer? to join that up in a sentence. On the board?
أينما كانوا.
No. As in, do you want to join it up on the board?
Oh yeah.
أينما كانوا. We'll look at examples later on. So, the other side, yeah? No, it's not عين. What's that?
Small.
Eh?
I do understand that.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah.
That's the hamza. You did it too big, that's why. That's too big.
Can we out?
Yeah.
I'll try again.
In comparison to the, make it smaller, yeah, like you do a fatha, yeah. MashaAllah, taqabbalallah, very good. Aina?
I feel shakal.
Yeah, you can put it, yeah. So, in actual Arabic, they don't really, they don't put much of that. For some words where it's similar, they do, but for your learning, I think we should. But you know, you guys can do it as you wish. I'll do it again. So look slowly. Alif, and then you can put the hamza there. Ya, noon, aina, which means where. So you guys should be following along with your sheet, with your handout, inshallah, and break it down as well, inshallah ta'ala, probably 3 times. The more you practice, the easier it will get, the better your handwriting will be, inshallah. What's the next word on the handout? Man. Not to be confused with min. So in this instance, Akhi, we will put a fatha on there because we have another word called min, and these 2 words, they can get confused. We will look at this as we progress on with the lesson. So if we break this down, this is a mim and a noon, and when we join mim and a noon together, it will be like this. So what we will do is we'll get the mim and we'll get the noon together like this. Do you want a handout? Just give you the handout. You want to join? If you want to join, we have a handout. Meme. No, sorry, man.
I just need to put all of these up, please.
And then, does anyone want to try it out on the board? Do you want to try again? If you get the gist of it, it should be easy. It's alright, just make sure you yeah, try again if you want. That's alright, just make sure when you go meme, just make it go once instead of going around 2 or 3 times. But that's good. That's the word man. If I say min, correct me, because there's another word min and they look exactly the same. Just that one has a kasra. So what's the next word on our sheet? Mata, which means when. So exactly the same. So this is made up of mim, ta, and anyone seen this letter before?
Yeah.
So yeah. It's called alif maksur, which means a broken alif. So you won't say mati, you'd say mata. And sometimes some people do put an alif on there like that, but that's not for today. That's a completely different rule for another day. Anyways, I'll show you how it's done. So you'll take it like that, and like that. It's basically, it looks like a yeah without the dots. And if we go again, that's how it works. Should I rub it off or should I keep it on the board?
Probably rub it off.
Alright. We might be able to scroll down. What's the next one? Ma. a lot of them are just start with meme. So, no. This is just your meme and then alif. Anyone want to try this one? You want to? We need more contributions. It's just the same guy. Yeah, very good. It's exactly like that. Yeah. So you take the meme. That's a store. Ma. The letter ma. Not the letter, the word ma, which means what? So we'll go through the meanings later on. Let's quickly move on. We have kaifa. So this is made up of kaf, ya, and fa. Kaifa. So we'll put it together. We'll give a kaf, ya, and a fa. Kaifa. Kaifa. Quite a common word, as a lot of these will be, because when we make questions, we have a lot of things we can ask. So we have different types of words. Female. This one is can. Do you need a worksheet?
No.
Alright. This is made up of a kaf and a meme. And if we put it together, that makes kam. Two more. Mada. If you look at the worksheet, you'd notice that ma and mada, it says the same meaning for both. There is a grammatical rule. We will go through this if we have time. It's 23 past already. Mada. So this is your meme, alif, dal, alif. 4 letters, and we put it together. Mada. Anyone want to try this one? You want to? Come on.
You give me a bit of a hint.
Oh, it's basically just copying that up, but you know, you do it as he did, and I'll just give you the feed.
Okay.
Just just copy that out. Yeah.
Copy that out.
I'll copy this one out.
Okay.
This is where I broke it down for you. So, do a meme first.
Okay.
If you touch it in 2 places, it doesn't work. Alright. Ma, yeah. One thing to note is this is that's zal, this is val.
Oh, okay.
Different letter.
Okay. So. Like that.
This is a letter zal, that's a letter val.
It just has to come backwards, basically.
Yeah. That's what I know.
It looks more like that, but alright. Jazakallah for trying, that's good. What's the last one? Is the last one a second to last one? What is it? Oh, it's the last one. Limadha. And I believe you have this word in your language as well of Somali. And you also say wayo. So this is made out of lam and meme and dal. Alif. This is just your mada. Oh, and alif in here as well. It's like mada, but with a lam and the star, and it means why. So if we put it together, limadha. Limadha. And we do it again, slowly. I hope everyone has been following along with this and has been filling in the sheet. Work will be checked. If I can go back to the... Alright, next slide inshallah. Now we will actually go through the question words. So far we looked at the how to write them out. Now we will look at the meanings and what is their purpose. So the first question word on your sheet, well actually it's all in a grid. So the first one on the grid on your worksheet, it is hal, which is on the board, nicely projected, which is in English language is not a proper equivalent to it. In proper formal grammar, it's called a question particle, but to simple it down for you guys, it's basically when you're asking a yes or no question. So the answer will have to be yes or no. So yeah, as I said, there's no 100% English equivalent. So if someone says hal something, yes or no answer. So similar to the word did or did you or are you, but it's not exactly the same. Yes.
For example,
Yeah.
هل أتاك حديث غاشية?
MashaAllah, do you know the meaning?
Do you know what I mean?
We can go through meanings later on. Because we are a bit pressed on time, but later on I have an activity for everyone to do some examples. It's good. There's another one. هل لك سر عند الله؟ هل? Yes or no? لك, do you? لك, to you. Sirrun, a secret, عند Allah, with Allah. Do you have a secret with Allah? In this instance, we said do for hal, because roughly translate, but actually, yes or no, have a secret with Allah. So, you know, sometimes it translates as do, sometimes it translates as are. Not a 100% translation equivalent, inshallah. The second, yeah. Inshallah we'll do task 2 later, but the task 2 if you see is just to make notes on these. Oh, and also on the last page, there's a notes section, so make your notes on there. How's it? The notes page? Nice. Yeah, task 2 you'll do after I go through all of them, where I tell you to say the meaning of each. So next slide please. Arabic question word number 2 for the worksheet. This is aina, and this means where. Now, one thing I do want to bring up is, in English, we have 2 types of where. We have where as in the question word where, and we have the conjunction word where. And in Arabic, it is not the same. The question word for where and the conjunction word for where, it is not the same. I want everyone to reiterate, is it the same?
No.
No, it is not the same. So what do I mean by conjunction and question words? So in English, you could say for the question word, where are you? This is where the question word where has been used. Now in English, we could also use it as a conjunction to say, I went there where they were present. Does that make sense? I went there, and then the conjunction where, and then the second part of the sentence, they were present. So I went there where they were present. Here I'm not asking a question, I'm just saying where they were, the conjunction, where they were present. In Arabic, it's not the same. In Arabic, the question word for where is aina. Slide back, please. Another one back. But we're still number 2. Don't change the slide, I'm just... Alright, the question word is aina when it is for where. So, where is this? And the conjunction word is haythu. We'll look at conjunctions at another time, but I just thought I'd clarify this because there is a difference, unlike in English where it's the same. We also have the same occurrence for the word when, but we will look at that when we come to the word when a bit later on. Now, question word 3, please. Inshallah. Now we have question word number 3 on your sheet, which is man, which means who. So this is useful for asking about someone. So who is this? Who is that? And we'll go through examples later on. I just want to go through a brief overview. So it translates about who and asking about someone, etc. We are running out of time. A bit quicker, please. Question 4. Question word 4. This is mata. And this is the question word for when. And as I said, for where, we have two types, question word and conjunction. Same here. So this question word is useful for asking about a time, etc. But the conjunction word and the question word for when is not the same. It is different. So I could say, when are you coming? In English I could say, when are you coming? But I could also say, I will go to the party when they arrive. Yes?
For that word, right? I don't know the ayah that is in, right? I can say the ayah after it.
Go
For
ahead.
example, وَإِذَا جَاءَتِ الطَّامَّةُ الْكُبْرَى. And before that ayah, right? It has that word mata. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Can you see that?
It's 33, but go ahead again with the
I
ayah.
can't. I forgot the ayah.
There's another example that's maybe
Okay.
before. ويقولون متى هذا الوعد
In Kuntum Salihin. MashaAllah. We'll look at examples later on if we have time, because we are really pressed on time, because some people can be really late. Anyways, as I was saying, don't change yet. As I was saying, not even him, but as I was saying, he's not even part of the lesson, but as I was saying, the question word is different to the conjunction word. Conjunction word would be, I will go to the shop when they arrive.
Is there like, you know, in terms of I say in Arabic, does it like change?
So in Arabic, if I was to use it as a conjunction, I would not say mata. I wouldn't say mata in this instance. I would say indama, which is a different occurrence. It's a different word. Indama, which is when, but as a conjunction for when, not a question word for when. Inshallah, we'll look at conjunctions at another time, but we are pressed on time. So question word for when, inshallah. 5. Yeah. So now we have the question word ma, and this means what? And I'm sure you guys have come across ma before. There is another ma which also comes as a negating word like la, no, but we can look at that another time. But this question word, it translates as what, when it is in relation to a noun, pronoun, verb, etc. Most cases. The other word for what, you have it on your worksheet. This is when it is in relation to a verb only. So there's another, yeah, as I said, mada, it also means what, but mada is only in relation to a verb. This one can be in relation to nouns, pronouns, verbs, etc. Yeah, inshallah. Next one, please. And now Arabic word 6, question word 6. We have kayfa, and I'm sure most of you know an example for kayfa.
As in like
Whatever.
كيف تتقون إن كفرتم يوم يجعل الولدان شيبا.
السماء منفطر به كان وعده مفعولا. But there's another one, very obvious.
Quranic ayah.
General speaking,
كيف حالك?
كيف حالك? And yeah, I have it on there as well. This translates as the question word how, and it is commonly used for the phrase كيف حالك. I'm sure most people, even if they don't know Arabic, they would know the phrase كيف حالك. So كيف means how. So, next one. Arabic word, question word 7. This word is kam, and it translates as how or how many. Now, unlike kaifa, kam, it is only in relation and only applicable for a number when the answer is a quantity. So, for example, I could say, how many children are there? Or how is your age? In English, you'd say, what is your age? But in here, in Arabic, you'd use this word, kam. How is your age? How much is your age? How many years? So, it's similar to kaifa, but only for what?
Age.
Only for something which would...
Verbs.
No, only when the answer would be a quantity, a number. So age does fall into that category. Next one, please. The question word number 8. This is mada. I did go over this briefly when we did the question word ma, and this translates as what. But what did I say the rule was?
The one for the conjunction isn't the same.
This is not for conjunction, this is different. I went through it when we went through ma. What is this in relation with? If you don't know, it's on the board.
Verb.
A verb, yeah. So you'd only use this for a verb. So, for example, what are you doing? Or what do you eat? For example, those types of what. But the other type of what is in relation to all the other uses, nouns, pronouns, etc. Next one, please. We're running out of time. I had a lot more slides, but I don't know if we can get through this in time. Is there a lesson in here next? No? We'll stay here 2 hours. Jazakallah for letting me know. Arabic question word 9. This is limada. One of my favorite words to say. Limada. And your language as well. Limada. Why? This translates as why. And it is very important, a very common word, because we just love to ask why, you know? It's just the human nature, isn't it? When you see something, why? When you do something, why? Why did you do this? Limada يقول limada. So, inshallah, next slide please. We have a task. Now, if you look at your worksheet, we have, if you go on the second page, we have task 2. Now, on task 2, I have each of the question words written down, and I want you to just define them, translate them. As we did here, I did go into a bit of depth, and I hope you've been making notes on the last page. But here, I just want you to write down the definition of each of them. Preferably, don't look at the first page with the answers on them. Just use this page and just answer it, inshallah. Does anyone need any help with that? I'll give you 2 minutes. I think let's start up with the task. If you've done it, I've marked it. I think the ones I've seen, they've been quite good. Alright, but too many of you haven't been doing it. But those online, I'm sure, you know, you could fill in the sheet. It will be appreciated. Now we'll look at examples for question words. I know you guys, you love your examples, so we will go through the examples, inshallah. Also, one point of feedback here. Do you like how I break it up for meaning? So first I went through the handwriting, then I went through the words specifically, now examples. Or do you guys want it all in one?
No, when you break it up, it's more easy to understand.
Alright, inshallah. And next slide, please. So the first word we have hal. Does anyone remember what this word is?
It was yes or no.
Yes. It is a question particle, which is just a yes, no question. Really hard to write all these words. Anyways, can I increase the thickness? Yes. Yes, no question. So, we'll write down a few examples. We look at a few ways. Does anyone want to make an example? Any words? We've got the word hal. Does anyone want to make any examples? Give any examples? Make any examples? Does anyone have anything?
Was it English or Arabic?
Alright, if you want to give it in English, I could translate, I could try.
Let me try to give it in Arabic.
Yeah, just give it in Arabic, you know, make it up and we'll break it up, inshallah.
I would like to give the one. هل أتى على الإنسان حين من الدهر لم يكن مذكورا.
That's a long ayah for me to write on the board.
Okay.
Could we try something which might be a bit shorter, you know, some example, you know, just for general speaking, you know, general questioning. I'll give one. Does everyone know what that means? Hal anta Muslim, and we put the question mark. Hal anta Muslim. Do you know what that means? What does that mean? Naam, yeah. So, now also naam to the question, but yeah. Hal is a yes and no. And anta means you. Muslim is Muslim. And if we put that together, if we put that together, that makes the sentence yes or no, you Muslim, meaning are you Muslim? And the answer can only be yes or no. So you say Naam, ana minal muslimin. Yeah, so I made it a bit complicated, haven't I? Naam, ana minal muslimun, meaning yes, I am of the Muslims. Or I can say Naam, ana Muslim.
No,
Ah. Do you want a few more examples for this sentence?
no, I think we understood it.
Hmm?
No, I think we understood it.
Do you understand it? Next slide, please. Next word, Aina. Does everyone remember what that was? Where? Do you actually know them or are you just saying from the sheet?
No, I do.
MashaAllah. Where? Now, anyone give me any examples?
What?
Any examples? Where? Aina.
أينما كان.
Aina, like. You're just taking random bits of the Quran. You're not even looking for ayahs. Just stick with, making normal sentences,
Okay.
Because, the ayahs, it's not even the full ayah, you're just giving me short thoughts, I'm trying to press you to make your own questions.
I just need to know what do you know what R is in Arabic?
R,
Yeah.
then give me the context.
I was gonna say where are you?
So where are you?
Yeah.
Just say anta.
Anta.
Aina anta.
Okay.
Anta means you. Where are you?
So
There's no word for is are. It's just in the thing. So you want to say where are you?
Yeah.
So you say Aina anta. Aina is where. The question word where and anta is you. And then that would translate as where are you? You have that extra are, not because of Arabic, but because in English, for English grammar, we have the word are. But in Arabic, we don't need it. We don't have that. Well, for questioning, we might use hal, but otherwise, we don't have this specifically. But because we translate it, English doesn't have where you. Next slide. Or do you want a few more for Aina?
No, that's fine. You know. I went to the next slide.
Next slide. The word is man. And what does man mean? Who? Should I give an example?
Okay.
I'll write it down. Man. Can everyone read that? Man Rabbuk or Mar Rabbuk if you follow the tajweed. You know what that means?
No, I don't know about that.
So man means who? Does anyone know what Rab means?
Yeah.
Hmm? Ya Rab. Now we use that. Ya Rab. What does that word Rab mean?
Does it Allah?
Hmm?
Does it Allah?
It refers to Allah. It means Lord. So, and do you remember what the end of the ka, the suffix? Does anyone remember what the suffix ka indicates? When it's directed to you. So, remember anta, the word anta, and to put it as a suffix at the end of the word to make that word refer to you. So this would translate as Man Rabbuk. The word is the sentence is Man Rabbuk, and it would translate as who is your Lord? And can anyone answer that? Man Rabbuk, Man Rabbuk.
Allah Azza wa Jal.
Allah Azza wa Jal. Naam. Next slide. Mata. Mata means one. And does anyone have any examples?
Which one is this one?
Mata, yeah, which means when.
Can I say? I was going to try to say when are you coming, but I can. It's mata enter and something, but I don't know. That one.
Give me any verb.
When are you leaving?
So, mata takhruj.
Yeah.
So, we have the word mata and تخرج. متى means when. Anyone know the word خرج? It means to leave. Because, or actually, it's a main form of the verb to leave. So it means he left, because it will be in past tense, masculine. So if we put the takhruj there, the ta with the fatha, that would say you. It would indicate to you in the future tense or present future tense. So if I said mata takhruj, that would mean when will you leave? Does that make sense? Do you want to do a few more with mata? I could also say mata tadhhab, when will you go? Mata ta'kul, when will you eat? You can make it as words now. Next one. Ma. What did ma mean? What? Does anyone want to give any examples? Oh, remember the rule. What was the rule for this man?
You have to use it differently for conjunctions.
Conjunctions is for where and when.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it when you put?
So this one is in relation to anything. The one relation for verbs is mada. So if you want to put what in relation to a verb, you'd say mada. So ma, we could say masmuk, ma ismuk, if you break it down, but just masmuk if you say together. Ma equals what? Does anyone know what ism means? Ism? Bismillah. 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 The word after the ba is ism. The original one. Ism. Do you know what the meaning of Bismillah is? In the name of Allah. So ism means name, and ka, you remember what ka was, the suffix? When it refers to you. So this sentence masmuk or masmuk, it would mean what is your name? What is your name? Do you want another one for ma, or should we go to the next one?
Go to the next one.
Inshallah. You have an extended hour, alhamdulillah. Otherwise, we wouldn't have finished. Next one, please. Kaifa, which means, does anyone remember what kaifa means before I write it down? How. And what is our famous example for kaifa? Kayfa haluk? How are you? I want to give another one as well because Kayfa haluk is way too easy. Kayfa kana yawmuk? You guys should be making notes as well in your pads. I'll write down these examples. I gave you a page to do that, and it came out of my printing money, so make use of it, please. Kayfa kana yawmuk. So kayfa means, what does kayfa mean?
How?
How? Does anyone know what kana means? Do you know what kana means? Do you know what the word kunu means? Kunu. Do you know what the word makan means? Alright. These are just words which come from this form. Makan means place, if anyone wants to know. You could write that down. Makan, place. Now the word kana here, it means was or be. If it is in present tense, would be, which would be kunu. So kana, the reason it's called place is because, you know, kana means was, a place, you know, where something happens, you know, like that. But kana means was. And yom, does anyone know what yom means? Yom. Yom al-Jum'ah. Today's Yom al-Jum'ah. Does anyone know what yom means? Day. Day. And the other one, which I have been asking for a few times, ka, the suffix for ka, what does it mean?
Was.
No. I asked you this about 4 times, so write it down because I will ask you again. Ka, it is the suffix when it is in relation to you, when it is referring to you. Anta. So, together, this word kayfa kana yawmuk would mean, how was your day? Was this too complicated example? I only added one extra word as well. Kayfa kana yawmuk. But that's alright, it's just, you know, how we need to improve. Because, inshallah, we will improve as well. Next word. Kam. Does anyone remember what kam was?
Quantity, how many?
A quantity, yes. So it is how in relation to. Is it still recording or has it finished?
Yes.
Alright. So how in relation to a quantity. So what could be a quantity? Numbers, but something which could be a number, something which could be a quantity. Age. Anything else?
Yeah.
Yeah. Time. So these are all quantities. They may call this technology, but the old style boards are much more easier. It's just rubbing it out. This is quite hard, isn't it? Quantities. So we could say for age, kam amruk means kam, it is in relation to how. It's a quantity. Kam means how in relation to a quantity. Amruk, you know what that means? Amruk? Age. And ka?
A suffix into relation to, a suffix in relation to you.
To what? Who's it referring to?
To you.
To you, yes. To anta, yeah. Kam amruk, what is the age? Kam as-sa'a. Does anyone know what sa'a means?
Time.
Time. Who said that? Very good. Kam as-sa'a. Do you know what that means? How much is the time? What is the time? It would translate as that. You guys should really be making notes. Have made many notes. Nice. Next one. Mother. What was the rule for mother?
Is what?
What?
And also,
In relation to what though? What, but in relation to what?
it was for what and when, wasn't it? You said.
No, it was a verb in relation to a verb. I'll give an example so it make more sense. So ماذا in relation to a verb. So if you want the technical word for a verb, that's فعل or فعل. So ماذا تفعل. Which means تفعل is the verb. So what this would mean, what تفعل. First, let's take it to the root. فعل, which means he did. If we take it to present tense, تفعل. Firstly, do you know what this means? تفعل. What does the ta do?
Does it turn into past tense?
No, because it's already in past tense. So this makes it into future tense. It's at the front of the word. And this specific one, تفعل, ta, it is referring to you. تفعل. What are you doing? What are you doing? ماذا تفعل? What are you doing? ماذا تأكل? What are you eating? ماذا? Give me another verb. Do you know any Arabic verbs? English verbs? Something easy though.
What are you seeing?
Uh,
What are you saying?
ماذا ترى? Seeing or saying? Okay, seeing. ماذا ترى? I think have you heard this sort of phrase before? ماذا ترى?
But I never used to know one.
And then what was the other one?
Saying.
ماذا تقول? ماذا تقول? Yeah. Another very common word is قال. So the تقول comes from the word قال, and I'm sure since you know a lot of the Quran, you've come across the word قال. You want to give any examples now or not now?
وقال فرعون ذروني.
MashaAllah. Next time. Next slide. لماذا? The last question word for today, which means why. This is, I'm going to use some very formal English. This is to give you an explanation for something. So your rationale. I like this new word, so I like to use it a lot now. Your rationale. What is the reasoning behind this? So, why? Why did you do this? So, this is a question word for asking why. Why? لماذا? And you use the hand gestures in it. لماذا? So, one phrase, and you've been around me a lot, so you might have heard me say this before. لماذا تضحك? Why are you laughing? ضحكان actually means smiling as well. تضحك, it means to laugh. Why are you not you laughing? So why are you laughing? لماذا تضحك? Another one, لماذا تلعب? Do you know what لعب means? Or لعب actually.
لاعب. I know that. My dad always said it. Is it like a group or something? Something like that?
No. Playing. Play.
Yeah, sports. Using sports.
Yeah. Yeah, that's correct. Next slide. Alright, task 3, extension. We're not going to do it as an extension, everyone's going to take part. If we look at the sheet, it says, make your own sentences using each question word in the lines below. I technically did do that with you this whole time.
I wrote down this thing as well.
You already wrote it down, so that's good, you did the task. Everyone else, whether you're doing it online, or if you're going to do it in person, please grab that. Should I give you some time, or should we move on? Let's move on because you already did it, the rest are lazy. Task 4, if you don't do it, this is a homework. There is a Google Forms assessment, mini assessment, and on it, there are a few questions, and I want you guys to answer these questions. If you're doing this as a live online, then the Google form will be posted to you when we go through this lesson tomorrow, inshallah ta'ala. I guess this lesson has been completed. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I think that's one of the longest lessons I've done. 55 minutes.